and they watch them over and over again. And a simple fact, we can afford to buy those CDs. So the reason we ask all the people who come to us to present a show, they say, what is it that you're looking for? We said, we want the story to be Indian, but we want you to create story which has the potential of going outside of this country, because we alone cannot share the cost of your production. Or one broadcaster cannot do it, at least in the kids category. I'm not talking about GEC. We cannot afford it. So please do create the characters, the stories. They should have the potential that they go outside India as well. Because life, it's only then that we can come on board. Otherwise, at the same time, the story and the characters have to be Indian enough for us to get attracted to that, to any such pitch. Because if it's not, it has to be Indian enough for us to get attracted to it, because even if we co-produce it, or even if we come as partners, or even if we do an outright acquisition, please remember, as a broadcaster, I'm paying more than 20 times the cost than what I can go out and acquire a content from. So it has to be Indian enough for me to get attracted to it, yet it has to be universal enough for the production houses to go out and sell it. And this is something that I have time and again said. There's like, when the moment we say talk, Indian, the first thing that is presented to us is Maithili. And what we're also forgetting is, while there's a huge, the stories are unlimited, but also please remember, I'm purely talking from a kid's point of view. Even in Maithili, there are only limited gods and goddesses which appeal to God, and which also appeals to everybody across India. And we are a national broadcaster. I'm not just catering to North, I'm not just catering to Central India, I'm not just catering to South, I'm catering to everyone. Trust me, there are just, I can count them on, one hand, and tell you there are only that many number of stories that can come out, and most of them have been done. When we bought Little Krishna, that was our first Indian acquisition that we did. It was a huge risk for us. There was a Krishna going on Cartoon Network, there was a Krishna going on every other GC, there was a Krishna going on Colors, which is our own sister concern. So it was a huge, risk for us. I mean, this is a character which has been done so many times. Do we pick it up? What do we do? It's been done by every broadcaster in this country. It's a subject which has been done by every broadcaster. Every child knows about the story. There's nothing unique about the story. But what really attracted us to that particular series was its presentation and its narration. I think the narration was so beautiful, and the series showed us the results. It showed us the results for it gave us a huge high in last summers when the series got launched on the channel. In the third week, the show was a topper of the category, not just of the channel. The narration was so beautiful. So the concept has to be strong, the concept has to be Indian enough, the narration has to be beautiful. And today, it's not just that an animation is something, the reason they say, we always say that we have not experimented, and I'll only talk of Nick India, is the reason we have not experimented so much with live action. We would rather experiment with animation is because it has a longevity. An animated series, I can play it for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. It's not going to go away. Whereas live action, no matter how good stuff it is, 1 year down the line, and it's just going to be there in the library. It's probably not going to be on the air. But for it, and that's how we sustain our model. That's how a kids category, our costs are much lower compared to this live action, because the repeat value is tremendous in animation. Now, for the repeat value, for an animation series, first of all, to get a repeat, you have to give me such strong characters. So while the concept should be good, the narration should be good, everything, the characters have to be strong enough for them to become iconic. For me to invest my monies, not just in the creation of those characters, putting all my marketing monies behind it, and then to get into consumer products. Because today, a kids category cannot survive purely on revenue that we earn from by selling our FCT. It has to go beyond that. A child is always going to get attracted to the content much more if he can touch and feel that character. So those characters have to be out there for a child to go out and figure it out that yes, what he's watching. Because for him, character, a ninja, or even kids come to my office, they're like, they actually believe that he's a real character. That's their imagination. I mean, they actually think that he is a real character who comes, who sorts out all their problems. SpongeBob is a real character for them. Dora is a real character for them. I mean, for them, these are not imaginary characters which have been put on air. They believe in these characters, and you're going to see the reaction when they're able to actually, wear a T-shirt of Dora or a SpongeBob or a ninja or any other character. And when they can hold the toy or they can play the games, anything to do with it. But for me, the characters need to be strong enough for any broadcaster to put all their bucks behind one particular character. So the characters have to be strong enough. They have to reach that iconic, they need to have the potential to become iconic characters. That is key for us. I'm not going to, as I said, for me it has to be Indian enough. I think I've covered that point. It needs to be Indian enough. Otherwise, if you're making it too universal, nothing stops me from going out and picking up the same kind of content from somewhere else at, as I said, 1/20th the cost. It's important for us, today even we are looking at creating properties where the rights are with us. Because as I said, life becomes much easier for us if we are the right holders. We can do so many things. We can do CP, we can do digital, we can do mobile, we can go on our websites. So basically, use the show, or use the show on every possible platform which exists out there, or which will. If today might not be that big enough, but tomorrow it could turn